Hey guys, this is Akins here. I just want to talk to you a little bit about the importance of the ability to maintain the mount position. The mount position is probably the most dominant position to have in Jiu-Jitsu and in MMA. The longer that you're able to maintain the mount position, the more time that you're actually safe from either taking damage or being attacked in a fight. So if you can maintain the mount on someone for 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes where you're not getting punched. 5 minutes where you're not getting kneed, 5 minutes where you're not getting kicked. And it's also 5 minutes where they're not setting up attacks on you. So the ability to maintain the mount position is crucial once you get there. Also, once you're able to maintain the mount position, it buys you more time to be able to do damage yourself or to be able to finish. So if you can get to the mount and maintain the mount and stay there, you have a lot of time to be able to set up your attacks. Okay? So what I'm going to be showing you in this module is all of my little secrets of how to maintain mount on your opponent so that no matter what they do, they can't get you off. Also, in this module, what I'll be teaching you is once you understand how to maintain and what's necessary, all the elements necessary to maintain the mount, I'm going to show you what you need to do to get out of it. Okay? And so obviously, the mount being such a bad position, if you get mounted in a fight, that's a horrible position to be in. Okay? Anytime you're mounted, you're losing the fight. So the goal is to see if you can get out as quickly as possible, because the more time you spend there, the more time you're exposed to taking damage, and the more time your opponent has to finish you. So along with maintaining the mount, I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily get out of anyone's mount. All you need to learn are 3 different techniques, and I promise you, you'll be able to get out of anyone's mount. So I talked about the importance of being able to escape the mount position. And I said all you need is 3 escapes. Well, actually, all you need is 1 escape if you really know how to do it well. And this is a perfect example of that escape. So in this match, you have Andre Galvão, who's an 8-time world champion, against Ryron Gracie. What you see is Andre mounts Ryron, and as soon as he mounts him, Ryron uses the bridge and the roll escape. Basically, he traps the arm and bridges him off. Now that's an 8-time world champion getting taken off the mount with a white belt technique. But there's a lot of details in that technique that really make it effective. And that's one of the things you're going to learn in these videos. Here are 7 reasons why you should believe and trust what I call hidden jiu-jitsu is not the jiu-jitsu you nor your training partners and probably even your instructors are familiar with. These are hidden details that rarely are taught outside of the Gracie family. 1. I've taken my training with Rickson dead serious from day 1. I left my family, my friends, everyone I knew in Oklahoma with little more than clothes on my back 20 years ago to learn jiu-jitsu from the man himself. 20 years later, I still teach that jiu-jitsu dead serious. Reason number 2. It's well known that Rickson did not give out black belts generously, and has always been one of the stingiest belt promoters in all of jiu-jitsu. Well, I got my blue belts in 6 months, faster than anyone underneath them ever. And I got my purple belt in 2 years. That's absolutely unheard of for one of his students to advance to purple belt that quickly. When he gave me my black belt, no one had received their black belt from Rickson faster than I did, and to my knowledge, that still hasn't changed. 3. Rickson was Rickson's oldest son, and he was one of my best friends and my main training partner. 4. Because of my close relationship with Rickson and Rickson, I personally got to see secrets that were never shared outside the family. And this is the first time a lot of those details will be shared with the Jiu-Jitsu community. 5. I participated in and won challenge matches even at white belt at Rickson's Academy, fighting on his behalf, on the behalf of my teammates and the Gracie name. 6. As a blue belt, I was trusted to already start teaching the introductory program that Rickson had going at UCLA. By brown belt, 5 years later, I was already teaching as one of the head instructors at his school, and in 2004, I became the head instructor. 7. I personally witnessed him regularly dismantling visiting world-class black belts and world champions. All those stories you hear about this guy, that guy, and all that stuff that went down behind closed doors,
More often than not, I was one of the few eyewitnesses.
What I'm sharing with you will not be secondhand, it's firsthand. I've seen it, I've felt it, and I've taught it and continue to teach it every day for well over a decade. Remember, hidden jiu-jitsu isn't theory, it's exactly what Rickson taught to just a few of us. My love, appreciation, and respect for the Gracie family knows no bounds, and I've yet to find someone who can explain to me if there are no secrets, and if the information is all out there, then how can you explain how Crone, his son, is the only black belt under Rickson to make a major splash in the highest levels of jiu-jitsu? The short answer is, you can't. Rickson's core concept of defense was given to him by his father, Elio. Elio's entire game was based around being able to avoid and escape any attack in any position from any opponent and at any time. The ability to stay safe at all times in all positions was priority number one, and nobody embodied this principle better than Rickson. And when you see the details, you'll be mind blown. Your training partners will shake their heads in frustration as you become completely unstoppable with these hidden jiu-jitsu systems and strategies. Just listen to what some of these people who've trained with me have to say about hidden jiu-jitsu.
Incredible details, the pressure this guy has, the technique he has, the ability to answer your questions and convey the techniques and the theory behind the jiu-jitsu that he practices, that he learned from Rickson, is phenomenal. If you can't learn directly from Rickson, I think this is the next best thing.
Henry is like a skill multiplier. It's not just, do this and this and this. It's all about concepts and how to apply things in a way that's can be used in any situation.
It was an amazing experience, unbelievable. One of the things that you notice is that it's really concept-based as opposed to technique-based. So it's something that I feel I can take and implement in my game and just keep improving on and improving on to make my game more effective. I know at one point during the seminar, I said, I've never felt so stupid before, or it's been a long time since I felt so stupid. And it was just because some of the things are so obvious and so simple, and it seemed Henry did a great job making us realize we've made jiu-jitsu a lot more complex than it needs to be.
Henry Akins, it was absolutely incredible. Henry, we're very blessed to have Henry come in and showing us some of the, what I consider some of the raw techniques in jiu-jitsu, some of the true basic moves that are not taught. The thing I love about what Henry does is it's not complicated, it's very simple, but the beautiful thing about it is that they're simple, they're very effective.
My name is Pete Wilhelm, Hinato Tavares black belt. Been training jiu-jitsu for about 19 years. I own my own gym in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, named Train Fight Center. Henry Akins seminar will blow you away. Ultimately, he's a phenomenal teacher, phenomenal instructor, and it's a seminar or instruction you just don't want to miss.
Quite frankly, really mind-blowing. I've been going through about the last 6 months of kind of wanting to go back to some basic stuff and refine stuff because I didn't want to end up as an upper belt that didn't know how to use his closed guard, couldn't escape positions, and this weekend was shockingly simple, but mind-blowing in terms of depth of what's possible with those techniques, the way that Henry could break things down and make them easily digestible in short order was incredible, so I couldn't recommend it highly enough.
The training here was phenomenal. Henry, his jiu-jitsu is just unbelievable. Definitely is going to increase my game phenomenally.
Just got done training 3 days with Henry Akins, and huge help to my game. Henry's theory behind jiu-jitsu is it's not a collection of techniques. It's just a philosophy of understanding the basics, and he really helped me really fine-tune my basics and just really clean up my game a lot. I would recommend absolutely training with him. It would help your game immensely. It definitely helped mine. I've been training for 5 years, and there's a lot of things, basic things that I thought I knew that I didn't know as well as I thought I did, and it really helped out a lot.
Henry's jiu-jitsu has really molded my game and changed it. It's made it go leaps and bounds just because of the simplicity and connection. I think his game fits into what everybody says jiu-jitsu is felt. And when you really feel what his principles and conceptual jiu-jitsu, it's totally different than anything I've ever felt before.
I would have to say that until I did this seminar with Henry Akins, my ability to feel like I could progress in the art of jiu-jitsu was very limited. I felt like it was all focusing on attributes, strength, explosiveness, power, encyclopedic type of memorization process that I just don't have a really good ability to learn things in that way. I'm more of a systems type thinker, not random odds and ends, and so I felt very stymied in my progress in jiu-jitsu. And Henry's approach was completely different, totally different, and I feel like in one weekend I made more progress than what I've made in the last 2 years, almost 3 years of consistent. So cannot endorse Henry Akins' approach enough. If you have an opportunity to train with him, I would beg, borrow, steal, kill, anything that you need to do to get to that event.
Pretty much how great it is and how simple it is, even at my level, to help me survive against the higher ranked belts and maybe take it a little bit further as I learn more. The simplicity, how simple it is to do it, to learn it, and how effective it is towards the goal of either submission or surviving. If you get a chance, definitely jump on it.
I can say that training with Henry has been my favorite experience when it comes to jiu-jitsu, just because I feel like I learn the most. His methodology and approach is very accessible for anyone, regardless of, we hear this a lot, size, strength, that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter with what Henry's showing you. It's quite simple, but quite magical. I don't know how to describe it other than if you get a chance, you have to check it out. If you have any interest in jiu-jitsu, my guess is it will turn your jiu-jitsu world upside down.
Training with Henry, I find the finer details on techniques that you already know make all the difference. Just finer little points.
Henry Akins, all the stuff he showed was pretty much life-changing for jiu-jitsu, changed up my entire game. Can't wait to take it back to Academy.
Third seminar with Henry Akins. I came here because everything is designed to correspond to self-defense and is completely applicable to the job that I have. I ride the street, and everything that I've been taught by Henry has been applicable to my job. Great technique, great guy, and I really enjoy the training.
I've known Henry for about 10 years. I've got to say, we've learned a tremendous amount, and it's really all about the details. So thank you very much.
I came out to learn from Henry, and this experience has been unbelievable. It really revolutionized my game. Forever, I would train with guys that would just feel heavy, and I could never have that type of top pressure, that game. And now I have it. I'll never pass the guard the same way. Really, I've been up at night, keeping myself up, thinking about jiu-jitsu in a whole different way, just from what I've learned from Henry over the past 5 days.
The seminar was absolutely incredible. I learned so many things that I thought I knew that I really didn't know well. A ton of details that were really critical that I had never seen before on some really, really simple things. And it's very, very similar to the way that I play my game. I like the very, very simple stuff. I'm a little older, not as mobile, and I learned a lot of things to help me finish a lot more effectively, which is one of my bigger problems. And like I said, I saw so many things that you would think that in 10 years I probably would have picked up, but I never did. That was just absolutely outstanding today. I mean, it's the best seminar I've been to. Certainly the most relevant for why I do jiu-jitsu.
Exceeded my very high expectations. Henry's instruction was amazing. Learned a lot. Look forward to doing it again.
And the seminar with Henry today was amazing. It always is. Been lucky enough to have a few seminars with him now, and I like the whole invincibility, defense type stuff that he teaches. It's amazing.
Trained with some of the best people in the world, best competitors in the world. I've done seminars with some of the best in the world, and ever since I first started with jiu-jitsu, Henry's been on my short list of guys to train with. He's from my hometown, and finally had the opportunity to come here to Redline and train with him, and it was phenomenal. I mean, it was everything that I expected it would be and more. Henry's his attention to the details and his ability to articulate those kind of details is like nobody that I've ever trained with before. And so
with Henry, it was really incredible.
and he broke down jiu-jitsu and gave us so much conceptual knowledge that we can bring back to wherever we're training and apply it in our own way. And I feel really blessed to have been given this opportunity. So if you have a chance to take a seminar with Henry, great. Do it.
I just took a seminar with Henry Akins. In one word, incredible. In several words, groundbreaking and reassuring. It's reassuring to know that I don't know anything. It's reassuring to know that there'll always be something that I can learn about very basic principles and ideas. The things that he shared this weekend are not being taught anywhere. So we're privileged to have the opportunity to train with this guy. The energy he gave back, the amount of time he spent answering questions. If you have a chance to get this guy in your jiu-jitsu life, don't mess around. Make it work.
Great time, but the best part of it was Henry's teaching. He taught the fundamentals and explained it in such a way that every single detail and every single question that we had was answered. I couldn't have asked for a better time.
My name's Jared. I'm a blue belt. This is the third Henry Akins seminar that I've attended, and every time that I've shown up, he's shown very applicable techniques. Everything is very realistic. It's very attainable. He's a very articulate instructor, and he's actually interested in making sure that his students learn each technique, and it's a really fun time. You got to check it out.
Went to the Henry Akins seminar. It was great. Groundbreaking stuff. Anybody gets a chance to train with him, they should do so.
The concepts are easy to follow and practicable, if that's a word, in small groups, and it was just a very worthwhile experience for me.
It's that little invisible stuff that they talk about. You just got to be there and feel it to really understand it, to really learn it. So if Henry's ever around or anywhere close by, make the trip. It's worth it.
Unreal. The detail that he presents, the clarity of the teaching that he provides, pretty well unparalleled, I would say. So I would recommend anyone who wants to really learn this martial art to seek out Henry. Absolutely.
It's amazing. I love Henry. Henry's been coming out 3 years now. This is my second seminar. You know, so I've trained with him 2 seminars, 2 days, so 4 times at the 2 seminars. Amazing stuff. This time right now, my mind's blown.
Just to the private of Henry. Really enjoyed it. Showed some great concepts, and I would thoroughly recommend it.
My time with Henry is almost exclusively stuff that I realize I've been doing wrong or stuff that I didn't know. And that's been really amazing. I feel like in talking to all these guys, when you start jiu-jitsu, you feel like there's a certain magic to it. And it's really cool that after doing it for a number of years, to be able to spend some time and have that same feeling that you discover a lot of brand new magic in jiu-jitsu that you didn't know was there. So it's been awesome. Can't recommend it enough.
The basics that I learned this weekend just blew my mind away. I never knew. It almost feels like that I'm starting back over again, going back to the first grade or kindergarten, and it's just so exciting for me. It's revitalized my excitement for jiu-jitsu, and I'm just gonna. This was an investment for me that I can keep for myself, my son, and my family, and it's just going to be an experience that I'm going to move forward on, and I'm looking forward to hearing from Henry even more. Thank you so much.
This is the 5th or 6th time that I've got to train with Henry, and it's unreal, the concepts and the pressure, and this seminar was just amazing. I never knew stuff like this existed. Definitely, if they have a chance to train with Henry, it's the best seminar I've ever attended. I've got to train with Hickson and a lot of great jiu-jitsu players.
This Henry Akins seminar, and it was great. Learned some new moves, but learned some old moves even better. It was one of the best seminars I've been to, and I definitely, when he comes back in town, will go again. It's a great experience. I recommend it for everybody.
As always, it was exceptional. I never miss a seminar or a chance to do a private lesson with Henry. He has as good and high of a technical level as anyone I've ever seen. You learn from the master of jiu-jitsu, and it shows. He has a jiu-jitsu that very few people have the authority or the knowledge to teach, and an incredible understanding of weight distribution and technique. And if you're ever anywhere near a seminar or a lesson that he's going to teach or a chance to go to his academy, don't miss it, because it'll be game-changing and life-changing for you.
Actually excited and overwhelmed to go back and to train these over and over and over again. He has a very basic, deep understanding of all the moves, which you do not see in any type of instructors nowadays. And I've trained all over and with some of the best and champions, and I would say that Henry's understanding exceeds just about all of them.
I've known Henry Akins for about 20 years. He and I started at Hickson's dojo on Pico in '95. I had some other priorities that kind of had to take a back seat, so I just recently got my purple belt, never too late. But Henry went on to be the third American to get his black belt under Master Helio Gracie's son, Rickson Gracie. Rickson Gracie is arguably the best practitioner of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the universe. Of course, I'm biased. Henry was weaned on that teat of perfect foundational fundamental Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Is that weird? Teat. And I've been studying under Henry recently, last few years. Very thorough instructor, very detail-oriented, and it comes from the horse's mouth. That Gracie lineage. Fantastic work experience with Henry. You really can't go wrong.